Today we reveal to you who was the face of the WWE Women's Division every year from 2000 to 2024. The WWE Women's Division has taken many ups and downs throughout the 21st century. We personally started watching WWE weekly from 2000, so we can accurately take you through everything that has happened throughout the past 24 years in the WWE Women's Division. Starting with 2000, we are picking Lita. Lita debuted in early 2000 with S.A. Rios, but left him just months later to join the Hardy Boys. Lita's popularity skyrocketed as she introduced a new thong look, which became a worldwide fashion trend. Lita won the women's title off Stephanie McMahon and main event Raw with The Rock and Triple H while having physical battles with Jacqueline and Ivory. For 2001, we are controversially going to pick Stephanie McMahon. The women's title was retired in 2001 for 6 months, and no female had any spotlight to the level that Stephanie McMahon did as she managed Triple H and then became owner of ECW during the Invasion storyline. Stephanie had the best female feud of 2001 with Trish Stratus, as the two had an excellent match for 2001 standards at No Way Out, which we would highly recommend. 2002 is an obvious pick as we pick Trish Stratus. WWE spent 2000 to 2001 building Trish to the point where she could hold the title as the face of the company, and in 2002 she more than got her chance. Trish entered 2002 as women's champion as she won the title 2 more times in 2002 in feuds with Jazz and Molly Holly. Trish entered a great feud with Victoria as she lost the title at Survivor Series in a hardcore match. Trish improved big time while still doing what was required of a diva at that time. 2003 was another year that belonged to Trish Stratus. Trish won the women's title at WrestleMania 19, and despite only holding the women's title for a month in 2003, she remained the focus of the women's division as she entered a feud with Chris Jericho and Christian. 2004 is a close one, but we have decided to pick Lita. Lita entered a high-profile feud on Raw with Matt Hardy and Kane, which resulted in Lita being forced to get married to Kane. For 6 months, WWE continued to tease a feud between Lita and Trish, with the payoff happening in the main event of Raw in December as Lita won her first women's title in over 4 years. For 2005, we are picking Trish Stratus. Despite Trish being gone for 5 months, she held the women's title every day in 2005 besides the first 9 days of the year. When she made her return from injury, she entered a great storyline with Mickie James. A lot of the in-ring action from the women in 2005 were new female talents that WWE introduced from Diva Search that were only beginning their careers. For 2006, we are going to pick Lita. Lita was put in a huge spotlight on Raw during 2006 due to her spotlight with Edge, who was WWE Champion several times in 2006. Lita won the women's title 3 times in 2006 before retiring at Survivor Series. For 2007, we are picking Candice Michelle. With Lita and Trish retired, WWE had to start giving new opportunity in 2007 as we saw former Diva Search contestants ready to be pushed up the card. Despite losing the final ever WWE bra and panties match against Melina on Raw, her fortune took a major twist after WrestleMania as WWE pushed her towards the top of the card as she defeated Melina to win the women's title, as she had a successful 4-month run with the title, as she showed major improvement in the ring. For 2008, we are giving this spot to Mickie James. Several WWE women elevated their game in 2008, but Mickie James rose above them as she had a successful women's title reign and became the most popular female face in the company. The quality of women's wrestling improved big time in 2008 with Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool, Melina and Mickie impressing while Natalya and the Bella Twins debuted. In 2009, we are picking Melina. Melina won the women's title at Royal Rumble 2009 and had a successful title reign into the summer. Melina won the Divas title for the first time later in 2009. In 2010, we are picking Michelle McCool. Our first SmackDown superstar, as Michelle teamed with Layla to form LayCool, as the team had the most TV time in 2010. Michelle had 4 different women's title runs in 2010 as she retired the women's title by unifying it with the Divas title in a huge step back for the women's division. In 2011, we have picked Kelly. Kelly was involved in high-profile storylines at the beginning of 2011, which put her in position to become Divas champion later in 2011. Kelly was by far the most popular female in the division and had a successful 4-month title reign as she had a good feud with Beth Phoenix. For 2012, we have picked Eve Torres. Our most difficult choice yet, but we feel her storyline with John Cena and her heel run as an authority figure elevated Eve as the face of the women's division as she was rewarded with a Divas title reign for the final few months of 2012. AJ Lee and Layla were also considered for this spot. 2013, without a doubt, we are picking AJ Lee. AJ had done fantastic character work in 2012 with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk and John Cena, and in 2013 as the manager of Dolph Ziggler. AJ Lee was rewarded for this as she defeated Caitlyn to become Divas champion in a great match at Payback. The ability of AJ Lee in the ring and as a character was far above anyone in the women's division in 2013, and this was clear on TV. 2014, we will pick AJ Lee again. AJ retained the title against the entire women's division at WrestleMania 30, which probably confirmed this pick. AJ Lee had 2 more Divas title reigns in 2014 during her feud with Paige, who was also considered for this spot. AJ sadly retired in 2015, and she didn't get to be a part of the women's division, which finally reached the heights that she helped elevate it to. In 2015, the WWE women's division was fully centered around Nikki Bella. Nikki had a record-breaking Divas title reign as she carried the title from November 2014 until September 2015 before dropping the title to Charlotte Flair. This was the last full year of the Divas era. For 2016, we have picked Charlotte Flair. Charlotte entered as Divas champion. She turned it into the women's title at WrestleMania 32 in a show-stealing match at the highest-attended WrestleMania of all time, which officially kicked off the women's evolution. Charlotte had an incredible feud with Sasha Banks as she won the Raw Women's title 3 more times and had several historic matches during this feud. The year of 2017 belonged to Alexa Bliss. Alexa entered the year as SmackDown Women's Champion and would have her second SmackDown title reign soon after losing her first. Alexa moved to Raw and became the first person to win the SmackDown and Raw Women's titles. Every big Raw match and feud in the Raw Women's division after WrestleMania 33 focused on Alexa. Alexa defeated both Bayley and Sasha Banks to win the Raw Women's title twice in 2017 as she was clearly the face of the women's division. In 2018, we are going to have to give it to Ronda Rousey. Ronda's debut overshadowed the very first Women's Royal Rumble match as her WrestleMania match got more attention than any other women's match. WWE continued to book Ronda strong as she became Raw Women's Champion at SummerSlam and carried it the rest of the year. If you want evidence that Ronda was the face of the women's division, look who main event and won at the all-full female WWE pay-per-view Evolution in late 2018. Becky was strongly considered, but her rise came too late in 2018. Speaking of Becky Lynch, 2019 Becky may have been face of WWE, let alone face of the women's division. Becky became the most popular person in WWE as she won the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble and won the WrestleMania 35 main event, which was a first for women when she won both Raw and SmackDown women's titles. Becky held the Raw Women's title for the remainder of 2019 and stayed at the top of the card. 2020 was the year of the Thunderdome, and we think Sasha Banks rose above the rest of the women's division. Despite Bayley being the champion, most of the focus was on Sasha as she was having excellent matches on all 3 brands. Sasha won the Raw Women's title briefly in the summer and the women's tag team titles with Bayley. Bayley turned on Sasha and Sasha won the SmackDown Women's title in an excellent Hell in a Cell match. Sasha elevated herself in the WrestleMania 37 main event with this title run in 2021. For 2021, we are going to pick Bianca Belair, who was the person to defeat Sasha Banks in that WrestleMania 37 main event to win the SmackDown Women's title. Bianca had a good reign before dropping it to Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. The focus for the rest of 2021 was to continue to cement Bianca as the face of the women's division. This carried on into 2022 as Bianca Belair was without a doubt the face of the women's division as she reclaimed the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 38 against Becky Lynch. Bianca was able to constantly overcome damage control in the later half of 2022 to walk into 2023 as Raw Women's Champion. The women's division in 2023 belonged to Rhea Ripley after she won the Women's Royal Rumble and won the SmackDown Women's title in an incredible match with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. The title turned into the Women's World title during this reign as she dominated the Raw Women's division heading into 2024. Right now we are in September 2024, so the year has not finished, so we are judging this based on the past 9 months. Right now we are going to give it to Bayley after she won the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble and defeated Io Sky in a great match at WrestleMania 40. She had a successful women's title run which ended at SummerSlam. We reckon at the end of 2024 either Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley would claim this spot. Let us know if you agreed with our picks in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and we thank you for watching.